up in Canoga.
You motherfuckers have on masks?
Yeah,
Hell no.
Wait a minute. You're drinking at a bar?
Yeah, we're outside. We're partying.
Oh Lord, numbers are going up, Ron.
We're
Numbers
spreading the
going up.
virus, baby. You know
White
how
privilege. White privilege at its finest.
it's all white privilege.
We're going to
Jeff,
start this show.
they're shutting it down. They're shutting it down in 2 weeks, Jeff. Don't even worry about it.
We're shutting this shit back down.
They supposed to be shut down right now.
Yeah, well, we're partying, man.
They supposed to be bars are supposed to be shut down right now.
Well, they ain't shut down.
Outdoor, indoor. They probably serve food and have a restaurant license.
No. If you're a bar and you have a you can't. They stopped all that shit.
Well, they serve. It's a restaurant. They serve food, but they have outside dining technically.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
All right, well, let's start this thing. So this is the show, So You Think You Got Problems. This is my two co-hosts, Ron Bush and Jeff Teller.
Yo, man. So you think you got problems?
So you think you got problems?
I think I got problems. You guys got problems.
So, Rob, what's your problem tonight?
What problem? Fucking the bars aren't open, man. That's my problem. We gotta get some pussy going. Sorry, but you know.
Are you gonna You gonna get some tweaker pussy?
I had tweaker pussy last weekend, but it's too much. They never shut the fuck up. it's like goddamn. Just talk. And you're like, Jesus, shut the fuck up.
How'd you shut her up? How'd you shut her up?
I dropped her off. I left her on the top of the mountain. I was like, I can't do this anymore, you know?
Wait, how'd you pick her up? How'd you find her?
It was an old chick I used to hook up with back in the day, but then I'd been a minute. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't gotten pussy in a while, so I was like, I gotta take care of myself, you know. And so I hit her up, and she's like, okay, so I was like, what do you want to drink? She's like, Jaeger and Red Bull. I was like, well, that's easy. And then so we were drinking that, got business got taken care of. And then I hung out there the next night, business got taken care of. And then the third night, it was like July 4th. I was like, why don't we go up to these mountain ranges and we look at the fireworks over all of the city and stuff. And she just like started having like, first thing we were walking around, she said, did you see the way that girl was looking at me? She's giving me this dirty look. And I was like, you're a hoe. That's the way people look at you. That's like, what don't you get about that, And she's like, I was going to say something. I'm like, I'm glad you didn't. Otherwise, you would have gotten left on the top of the mountain,
Rob, the next time you get tweaker pussy over there, you go ahead and get you one of these.
Oh, Ron, that's beautiful.
You put that. Yeah, you put that right on in there. And you told him you want to get get something like this, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
that's beautiful.
Hold on,
that's what you need to do, Rob. You need to shackle that bitch up like a slave.
Yeah. Here's my favorite, Mike, you'll love this. This is my favorite. This is foot and arm restraints.
Oh.
So they're down like this.
I think Mike's gonna have an orgasm over there.
Oh,
yes,
that's like a work of art.
Yes,
that's a work of art, Ron.
And you could grab the center and pick them up too and drag them.
Oh
my God,
I love that.
Yeah.
So what happened to your girlfriend, man?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the gas, motherfucker.
What happened to your girlfriend?
I broke up with her in August. That was
What?
a while ago.
So that's why
the girl that I took to Denny's when we were all meeting up a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was fucking crazy. I had to end that.
Why was she crazy?
Oh, she was controlling as hell. She was like, fucking. One time she woke me up at 3 a.m. saying, "You stop breathing." I was like, just let me die, Like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
Right here. When she go to sleep, throw one of these when she go to sleep.
Oh my God, I gotta get me some of those.
Ron, what's that? Ron, what was that?
Oh, this is the bar.
Oh,
It's
Ron,
rubber.
we are friends. Ron, we're friends.
Man,
That's beautiful.
I like the ball gag. I like to put the fucking ball gag in
Yeah,
there.
the ball is great. Ball is great.
Oh.
Yeah, the ball is great.
That's beautiful.
Rob, you need to get yourself some of those. Start with
I
the bar
know.
first, though. Start with the
Especially
bar
for
first, not
tweaker
the ball.
pussy. Tweaker pussy.
That's
I
why-
gotta give
that's
me
what-
some of those.
That's why Rob got instinctively scared the other night at Vicky's.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to walk by
Ron.
chasing you. Goodbye,
Ron, you're fucking terrifying, Ron. Ron, you're a creepy fuck. You know this, right?
It's not. It's listen. It's not terrifying and creepy. You know what I'm saying? It's exhilarating and sensual.
No, you're a fucking animal. You're my friend. You're a savage.
But
You're a fucking savage.
hey, Mike, where's your equipment?
Dude, I don't talk about my equipment. Dude, my shit is very improv. Tape, glue are my new things right now, and staples.
Yeah. Don't you worry.
Staples, glue, and tape.
You come over here, you get you come over here, you know what you're getting.
Ron, what I loved about last night is that those other guys think you're messing around, but you aren't. You aren't messing around at all. They don't know any better.
Hey, Rob, are you thinking about going over Ron's and investigating that
I ain't
whole
going over
situation?
to Ron's. I ain't going over.
No, Rob is terrified of Ron.
I love
Rob
Ron.
is
but I
complete.
ain't going over there.
Rob is completely and 100% scared of me.
And it's understandable. You're a creepy motherfucker.
He won't even sit in the same. He won't even sit in the same car with me. That motherfucker.
I need more Tory with me. More Tory
Hey,
with
Rob,
me.
why you scared, man? Why you scared?
He's powerful, man. He's scary as fuck.
You think he might come over to the dark side?
He ain't coming near me, man.
Hey, Rob, you might go to the dark side?
No, I ain't going over there. I mean, if it's a bitch, then yeah, I'll fucking go to the dark. I've gone to the dark side before with women, but I'll do it again.
Well,
So
I think.
Ecstasy is good, man. People don't understand.
So, Rob, for the guests who are tuning in here, where are you from, and how long have you been practicing comedy?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally, and I've been doing stand-up since 2013, so 7 years now. And 2013 is when I moved to LA, so I've been serious ever since. So that's how long I've been at it.
Right on.
So why are you having problems picking up women? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, my game is weak, man. I gotta get better at my game. That's the problem.
Well, what's your opening line? What's your opening line when you need somebody?
Right.
See, that's the problem is that I don't have the opening line. I'm waiting for them to come up to me when I gotta be the one going up to them, you know? That's the problem here.
That's why you got tweakers, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm hitting up old bitches from the past. I gotta be hitting up new bitches. I don't want to be hitting up old bitches.
I think
and see, old ladies love Rob. Old ladies love fucking Rob. Old
Yeah, but I don't like
love
old ladies though. That's the problem. They're all old. They're all fat, wrinkly, and like leather skin and shit.
What the fuck are you doing?
well, the first problem,
White hose, you know?
the first
Dude,
problem is. The first problem is, Rob, you calling them bitches. That's the first problem.
To start off with. The second problem is you got these old nasty bitches.
What's the proper term, man?
Rob, you gotta start with old bitches. I've banged so many old women I can start a mortuary. Don't be afraid of old ladies. Start with old ladies, work your way backwards.
I just can't get myself to do it. It's the fat bitches that I can't do. But if they're skinny, I can do it.
Why? Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this for a second. Why is it? Because you're a good-looking dude. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that you have problems picking up good-looking women in your age group?
It's the confidence. I don't have the confidence to go up to them. That's the issue. That's the problem.
Well, were you rejected as a kid? Where's it stem from?
I think in early school days, like high school and stuff like that, I don't think I got the attention I didn't get much attention from women or girls, I guess, at that point. So I think that's what stemmed from it, to be more accurate.
Well, if you don't talk to them, how do you pick them up on Tinder, right?
Yeah, it's all online. It's easier now.
Yeah, but you see, okay, so Rob, here's the thing, okay, and this is from a guy who probably fucked more women than you have, unfortunately, for my part, for me.
That is frightening.
Unfortunately for me, right? Hey, there was a time when I thought I was straight. You know what I mean?
You thought you were straight?
I thought I was straight up until about 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then was it easier? It's easier to pick up guys than it was to women, right?
I got mad pussy, but I mean, here's the thing. In Philly, and I'm going to pass this one to Jeff and to Mike, and where I'm from, where we came up, we call them the old heads, the guys who were playing basketball and football, the guys who were in high school at the time, they were the ones around the basketball court and be like, yo, see the girls over there? Go over and holler at that girl. We trained each other how to pick up pussy. So by the time you were in grade school, we were already learning how to holler at bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, so by the time I was like 13, 14 years old, I got laid for the first time when I was 13. Yeah. By this girl, and then we used to have this thing called when I was 14, we started this thing called the Great American Ghost Hunt. We would take a bunch of girls into abandoned apartment buildings, and because the lights were off. And then the girl that you found, you got to fuck. You know what I mean? So we did that for a while.
Damn.
Then we started doing rap parties around 15, 16, and the pussy was just running at you then because you had the guest list. You know what I mean? And we were rappers, and it was all big time. That's when all LL Cool J and all Run DMC and all them were coming out. So we had all these big rappers coming through. You know what I'm saying? And then cocaine hit. Around 16, 17.
Oh, I loved cocaine.
Yeah. Now, once cocaine came, the pussy was everywhere. Once you find cocaine, you never have a problem getting pussy. You know what I mean? And then then I moved down to Florida, and I was working at that's when I was first in the tech industry, and there was this guy who was a waiter at the restaurant, this high-end restaurant across the street from where we worked, and he was all about me. And that's when I first started realizing, ooh, this motherfucker's fine. I want to fuck this dude. You know what I mean? And a couple weeks later, I went to my first gay bar. All she wrote.
Really? That's how it happened for you? You were kind of self-actualized through cock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll never forget it. I dressed up like I was going to a rap show. So I'm all brothered out. And I walk into this place called Trax in Ybor City in Tampa. And it's just picture a warehouse with like 2,000 white boys with their shirts off, looking like they just came in from surfing. Immediately, right, it was just fucking game on.
You just knew at that point.
And I mean, if the music almost turned off and every motherfucker in the party just turned around and was like,
wow.
This how I'm looking at Ron. This is how I'm looking at Ron's story. Like what?
Wow, Ron, that's so creepy, but yet, wow, you're a fucking whack job. So, yeah. Rob, why do you think you lack confidence?
Yeah.
Well, my parents sort of sheltered me until I got really into like my last 2 years of high school. Like I sort of got freedom when my father passed away, really. So my mom sort of stopped giving a shit.
Mm.
But Ron, I want to ask, you didn't have any sort of inkling that you were gay previous to that night?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
But you live in denial when you're afraid of yourself. When when you have I came from a very violent and abusive childhood. My dad burned my house down. I was 13 years old when I was just entering puberty. When I was around puberty. So I had and then I was just raised in a very homophobic, religious, and violent area. So. Again, we were being taught to go pick a pussy at the basketball court and the football field. So it wasn't about, look at that dude over there, ain't he hot? You know what I'm saying? It was
And especially peer pressure in high school too. That is a big
absolutely.
Yeah.
See, Rob, you understand. See, and so maybe because you were sheltered, right, and you kind of shy, maybe you need to explore the homosexual side of yourself.
No, he doesn't, you fucking maniac.
No,
What's wrong with you people?
Three things. Rob, let me come to your defense, okay? So your asshole will unpucker a little bit. You know what I mean? That motherfucker, you can hear it just as tight as possible. He won't fart for 3 days. You know what I mean? One, okay. You know what I'm saying? Not every gay guy wants to sleep with you, no matter who you are. You know what I mean? Two, right? And if a sheltered life doesn't mean abused, and unless you have some rather significant religious programming, or maybe you were sexually assaulted as a child, typically speaking, by the time, how old are you now?
I'm 25 now.
Yeah, so you would probably at least kiss your first dude or suck the dick or something like that.
Wait, hold up now, hold up now. You didn't say that with confidence now, Ron. That wasn't a confident comment.
Jesus Christ.
That was maybe. That was one of them maybe comments. That wasn't like positive. It was definite.
The only reason I hesitated was because 25 is in and around. It's when it comes to natural development of sexual orientation, 20 to 25 is a little late. You should at least have some inklings or some things going on, in your teen, right? Like there's several instances in my teens that I remember that, weren't I not so terrified of myself and society and everything like that I'd have probably went for it.
Right. Hey, Rob, did you play football?
Yeah, I played football.
What position did you play?
I was running back and linebacker.
Uh-huh. Now, did you guys have a shower? Did y'all shower together?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I wasn't ever good at football. I was terrible at it. But I did it later. I did it towards like 2 years in high school. And most of the kids that played on that football team were playing since middle school and even earlier than that. So I didn't understand the sport at the time. So I had such a disadvantage that I sucked.
When you say that you lived a sheltered life, what do you mean by that? I mean, sheltered life can be
Ron. His childhood was similar to mine. He grew up in the country. He grew up on a farm.
Yeah, by sheltered I mean like most of the friends I had, they grew up in the suburbs. Where compared to me, I grew up on like a 4-acre small farm that my family had kept. Like my father grew up in that same house that I grew up in.
Oh wow! Right.
And everyone else was able to ride their bicycle to go see their friends, where I couldn't do that because I'd be traveling. I'd be going across major roads.
Right.
So that was a big factor in it. And the friends I want to hang out with, they were known for smoking weed at the time. That we were 14, 15. So my parents were like, no, you cannot hang out with them.
Right.
And on top of that, I was a very shy child growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So
how old were you? How old were you when you had your first sexual encounter?
I was 18.
Okay. How was it? Talk about that. What was that like? Who was she, and how'd you meet her?
She was a girl that was older than me. I met her, I think when I was 14, 15. They used to do like, what's it called? Like they would do concerts, but they would do cover band concerts every Friday. And I met her at one of those because our parents would go drink and watch the performance. And then we would, like, as the kids, we'd all run around and stuff. So I met her there. Then that sort of ended towards the end of high school. I was 18 at the time. We had met on like Twitter or some sort of social media. And then I had a fake. So we would go out and like go drinking. And then like the second time we went out, she came back to my place and we hooked up.
In your mama's house?
We had, not my mom's house. We had like a guest house I lived in.
Wow, you were like a slave to your parents. You were
Yeah.
you were a white farm slave.
Well, it was like a chicken coop that was converted to a guest house.
Damn, you gotta talk about that shit in your act.
How old was she?
She was probably what, like 20 when I was 18. She was
So
only
you had a chicken head.
yeah.
Gobble, gobble,
You got
gobble.
some chicken head.
When was the first time you fucked a girl in the butt?
I haven't fucked a girl in the butt. No girls. I haven't met the right chick.
And you had a method over there for that? You ain't
He's only 25. He just had sex 7 years ago.
You should have begged the tweaker in the ass. You should have tore that ass up.
That's the first place you go.
You control them that way. You break their spine.
They don't eat. They don't eat.
I wish
so you don't have to worry about
we
it.
should have done this podcast 2 weeks ago. Fuck, man.
Yeah. They don't eat, so you don't have to worry about douching too much.
You know who has a crush on fucking Rob? Angie Crum has a crush on Rob.
Oh, brother.
Of course, she's an older woman. Come on, that's Rob's thing.
She looks at him like a snack.
That's Rob's thing. He loves older women.
Fuck her,
I don't
get
love
high,
them.
and get a
They just
haircut
love
for
me.
free.
Rob, have you ever messed with a girl that's younger than you?
I mean, yeah.
That's not a good yeah. Have you ever messed with a girl?
How much younger? I mean, dude, you're like 30 years my fucking senior. So
I'm just saying, you messed with all these old women. I'm saying, have you ever had any girl younger than you?
Yeah, I've had girls younger than me.
How old?
Like maybe a couple years younger.
Not Jeffrey Epstein. Not Jeffrey Epstein.
No. I'm not old enough to do a Epstein type of deal.
When you say you're shy, right?
You're right.
When you say you're shy, when you're going to talk, when you see a girl that you're interested in.
Oh, we dropped. Hey, Rob, let me ask you a question. When you do talk to women, is it because you've been drinking?
Yeah, drinking helps. That helps a lot. That's why, like, if I were to meet up with a girl, I'd be like, let's go to a bar, get some drinks or something like that. That helps sort of calm the nerves. So that aspect.
What are you thinking when you're talking to your girl? Like, what are the words? What's the voice inside of your head telling you?
I try to just do like a neutral sort of aspect of it. That's
what's that look like?
Yeah, what would you say to Ron if he was a fucking girl?
No, thank you.
Even after a couple drinks? Even after a couple drinks?
Thanks for the drinks. I'm gonna get going.
Now,
Ron's
are you afraid to be rejected by these women?
I think that is the natural fear, is the rejection. I don't think I've experienced rejection, because the only time I really go after a girl is if I am 99% sure that I can get laid or necessarily have the relationship that I'm looking for, whatever meets the goal that is agreeable between me and the girl. So most of the time I feel pretty confident in that moment that it's going to work out the way I imagine it will. So the rejection aspect isn't really a factor at all, so I never really go through rejection that often.
So
I never go up to a girl.
Do you think like the girls that you're going after, you're kind of settling because you're afraid of the rejection?
Yeah, you could say that in an aspect.
A lot of times they'll say that you can tell a man's confidence by the woman on his arm, and so
that's true.
If you're gonna find a woman that you want and a woman that you think you'd like to marry, I think you're gonna have to take chances.
You're gonna have to take big risks.
I agree with that, because the two relationships I was in the last 3 years were something I just rushed and I settled into when they weren't actually, they were just terrible women. you know.
Right.
When I never should have dated them. I fell in love with the idea of being with them rather than who they were. That's
And
what I
you
learned.
talked to them because they liked you.
Right, and they reached out to me, and they were
Right.
down to meet up, down to whatever, you know.
Let me ask you this, Rob. When was the last time you got in your car and you went to a bar by yourself with the intention just to meet people and talk and have a good time?
I would say probably, I never went to a bar with that idea. I went to the bar with just to have a drink and maybe I'll meet someone. But at the end of the day, I was like, I just want to go have a drink. So that was the goal. And as long as I met that goal, I never left. Disappointed.
The reason why I asked that is, you know, one of my old boy toys from last year, he was like 22 or 23. He had never dated anyone that he never met online. Like everyone he dated, you know, he met through a dating app or something like that, you know, Facebook, Instagram, you know, or Grindr. And so, you know, I'm just wondering, what age are you in social media? Like, are you more of a social media centric mindset? Like, is your coming of age Facebook and Instagram, or do you remember, you know, before those platforms were really huge?
I would say most of the time it's through social media, but the tweaker pussy I had last weekend was someone I met at a bar that we just happened to be there. That was really the only time I've ever met someone like in person, no social media previous to that. But that's my only record. Everything else has been social media.
But what we've learned from that is you should never go to the bar looking for a woman because you get a tweaker.
And then you got to kill her. You got to
maybe you got to stay on social media. That seems to be working out for you.
They'll steal your shit. They'll steal your shit too. They'll steal your shit too.
Oh, hey, don't trip, man. I had a crackhead one time. Hey, she was hot. I mean, she was. Remember when they had the Jet Beauty of the Month inside there, Ron?
Yeah.
She was one of those, right? Yeah. And she's on my house, and she gave amazing blowjob. That should have been the sign that she was a crackhead right there. I should have known that the way that she was blowing me. You know, that you know, she kept saying, give me another hit, you know, shit like that. I'm like, what's she talking about?
Damn.
So then, and I woke up, and all my shit was gone.
Crackheads will rob you.
Well, I didn't know she liked me, though, because she left the card of the pawn shop she took the shit to, so I could go get it back.
She cared about you. She was a crackhead with a conscience.
With a conscience.
Oh, man. That's fucking great.
Yeah, but she was hot. She was hot as hell.
You know, Rob, my suggestion would be, you know, to...
Hello?
Yeah, evidently, it wasn't a good suggestion, so it just...
Yeah, he vanished.
Obviously. This fucking thing this week. My suggestion would be that, you know, you start practicing approaching women to have a conversation, not to have sex, but to have a conversation.
And you should build up to that. You should build up to that.
It's smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely meet them and talk to them and see.
But you should build up to it. Like maybe go out and say, I just want to say hi to a girl, to the girls tonight. Right. Hey, hi, how you doing?
Right.
And build up to the other thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's smart.
And something else that you can do that I actually helped a friend of mine who he had overcome a speech problem, so he was very nervous, and he's straight, but he was very nervous when he would talk to women.
Did you fuck the stuttering out of him?
No. But what I had him
do, he put the ball in his mouth to do that.
I had him write out 5 different things that he would be easy to talk about. You know what I mean? That were socially relevant. And so then when he would go out to meet women, you know, and I was his wingman, but when we would go out, he would have those conversations he knew that he could talk about. And so when he got nervous, he would know, like, oh, let me start talking about this. And just by getting into this subject that he knew that he was a little more proficient in, whatever you want to call it, then he could have a conversation that removed him from the idea that he's trying to get some pussy. Or that girl is.
And that's the other thing that Ron just brought up right there. Don't go out trying to get laid.
Right.
Go out just thinking, I just want to have a conversation. I just want to get to know.
They'll smell the desperation on your fucking. They'll smell it.
Right.
Because like we got a couple of friends, Jeff and I, that are they're fucking clueless motherfuckers, and you can smell the desperation on them when they talk. It's like, oh my god.
Now,
but the other part, Rob, the other part is you're not looking at them as sex symbols. You're just looking at them as human beings. Which is the key. You just look at them as human beings. Right. You guys are sharing the space together and you're getting to know each other. I think that will help you a lot. I think right now you're putting pressure on yourself. You're not seeing them as just women to talk to. You see them as sex symbols that you want to. And that's not, you got to change that attitude.
Right. Now, do I sort of want to talk to them as if I'm already friends with them, like the sort of that natural?
You're becoming friends with them. So yeah, you're right. You're making them feel comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. Okay,
right.
Because I've had success in that aspect of being comfortable and just being not like, hey, how you doing today? Like clearly that never works. You know what I mean? But just engaging with something like you said, Ron. That's top 5. That's relatable, like sort of happening in the moment, but still engaging as if we've already known each other, but we don't, but having that comfort level.
Yeah, act like you're on Bumble or whatever site you're on, and act like you're typing. What do you say to them when you're typing? You gotta have a conversation, right? Through text.
Right.
It's the same thing, except you're verbalizing.
And Rob, only go up to women that you find that you're willing to fail for. This is the thing, and these guys will agree with me on this. Only go after women that you don't have a problem being rejected by. Like to settle for some fucking idiot that you're not going to take out anyway. Fuck them. You know what I mean? It's like we all have that when we get hit on by people we don't even want to fucking talk to. It's like, no, go fuck yourself. You're better off getting rejected by like 20 chicks that you actually like than fucking some animal that you don't want to fucking talk to.
Right.
Yeah. So
I love Mike. Mike is like the Archie Bunker of sex talk.
Yes. My favorite thing, Jeff, is when you said humans. I'm like, what? Humans? I'm not a human. What are you talking about?
Like you're being counseled by Archie Bunker. It's just hilarious.
No, but you know what?
Now you go out there. You go out there. You grab her by the hair. Now you look at her and say, hey, you coming home or not?
We're fucking. We're not fucking.
Well, you're not coming home? You're a fucking animal. Give me somebody else.
Fuck out of here.
My other suggestion, is, again, just don't, with women, especially nowadays, and I think Jeff will agree with me, Mike will not. But you want to treat them with respect.
Not always.
And
that doesn't always work.
You want to talk to them about what their goals are. You want to probe them for their intelligence. Get them talking. Find out what their interests are. And it's like, so are you into this and that? Just like, yeah, so where did you go to school? You see Jeff doing all that. Where'd you go to school? How'd you, have a conversation that's about who they are, gender neutral conversation, a conversation you can have with a dude or with a girl. Because if the girl isn't showing you interest, like she wants to give the pussy, then you can be like, all right, well, cool, I gotta go.
Right.
But listen, you don't want to talk too much.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I know
because that. Because they're gonna try to friend zone you. I do a thing, and Jeff has seen me do this creepy ass shit. Well, I do a thing called the vampire touch. If I can touch their arm, I probably can fuck them. But I've done this. I've touched their arm where they pull it away. I'm done. It's like I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
I said, oh, it's really nice to meet you. And I walked the fuck off. So you got to find your own way. Everybody finds their own fucking way. Ron is a fucking disgusting, creepy fag, but he's amazing. I've watched the fuckers. We will be out and guys just show up. They just pop up out of fucking nowhere and they start talking to him. And then he does this creepy shit where he just mesmerizes them. And then before you know it, he has a fist up their ass. It's fucking scary.
It's called being charming, intelligent, respectful, and funny.
You're not respectful, but you're definitely charming. I'll give you that. I've watched
Rob. Rob. I will tell you, but Mike did say something that is true. Is women love for a man to listen.
Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
good at listening.
And you sit there and you ask and you just listen.
Yeah.
And you attentively and you show that you're listening by asking them a question about what they said.
What they said. Exactly.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm good at that.
Dude.
I'm good at that. It's just the beginning. Getting the initial thing is my biggest issue. I'm always so nervous or anxious in that aspect.
But you know what though? Dude, use that. Hey, say, you know what? You're so beautiful. I'm so nervous.
Okay.
I was so nervous to walk up to you, but I'm like, fuck, she is beautiful. I just want to say, how you doing? Where you from? Boom. Use that.
And what will help you break that ice is they have to excite you. If you're gonna like talk to them, like I said, if there's no magic, don't even fucking bother.
Yeah. But, both Jeff and Mike is 100% right. First of all, if you don't have that connection, if you don't have that magic, it's just why even bother? And Mike is also on to something there. After you've been talking for a while, if you start getting closer, if your pelvises start facing each other, if you guys start leaning in more, like Mike said, if there's just things, then all you have to do, and just to be clear for anybody who's listening, I don't think Mike is saying touch them, but kind of tap them.
No, Mike's saying touch them. Mike's saying touch
you touch them.
You
touch them.
While you're
You don't have my vampire powers. You can't do what I do.
Right. But touch them like, hey, and see how they react. Because then that tells you if they're feeding into that or not. You know what I mean? With guys, it's different. All you got to do is fucking show them a fucking goddamn gimp ball, and they're like, oh, we fucking. You know what I mean?
Hey, the other thing, Rob, if you can get them to laugh, right?
Yeah.
And while you get them to laugh and talking, if you grab their hand while you both laughing or something like that.
That's the touch.
Yeah, that's the touch. But don't just be out for no reason. It's got to be in the moment of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, don't put them in a chokehold on the first date.
Hey, don't be like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
No, that won't work like that.
Right. But when you have that conversation, when you get them talking about what interests them, like Jeff is saying, you're asking these little follow-up questions. Wait a minute, did you say that you had 3 sisters? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then let them keep talking. Then 5 minutes later, oh, wait a minute, you know what? I got you. But no, continue what you were saying. Always put it back onto them.
And what Rod and Jeff are right about one thing that I really agree with is you have to watch their body language.
Absolutely.
If they're not feeling you and they start being super disrespectful, just walk the fuck off.
Right.
Just walk. That'll hurt them more than if you engage them in some stupid ass conversation. They're mouthing off.
Not worth the trouble.
I was at Angie's house and this fat fuck was trying to flirt with me. I literally just cut that shit off. I was like, no, I'm out. Fuck out of here. That hurts them more than if you actually like engage the crazy. They want to talk, but if you cut that, it makes you more powerful than if you sit there and we all have that fucking friend. They talk themselves out of pussy. It's fucking horrible.
Right. It's not worth the trouble. You know.
The other thing is read verbal cues. If you're talking to her and she's watching guys walk by.
Yeah, then it's over. Yeah. He's right.
It's time to go. So you got to read the body language. What they're doing, what they're talking about. But if you guys got that eye to eye and you guys are caught up in it and talking and it's in.
Yeah, I can those cues I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty good at reading in those moments too, especially.
Yeah, and then like I said, man, just start off with having conversations. Always be armed with your topics of the day, just like a joke. Just like you go when you're going on stage, you know what your set is. If you're going out, you want to get you some pussy. go with the things that you want to talk about that night, and just in that process, and learn how to, because especially with younger guys nowadays, I tell all these younger guys that I'm banging, it's like, just learn how to be.
You fucking fag.
That was sexually offensive. That was a discriminatory
Don't fuck
comment,
yourself.
Mike. You know what I'm saying? Mike gets jealous because he knew he ain't never get no dick. But
Dude, you look like Ron tonight. You look like gay George Washington Carver. Instead of discovering the fucking peanut butter, you discovered the peanut dildo.
I really
Peanuts
appreciate
come
that.
out, then they go up your ass. There you go.
Hey, Ron, I'm impressed he knows who George Washington Carver is.
Yeah, I'm a lot smarter than I look, motherfucker.
I'm incredibly impressed. I'm incredibly impressed. But just go out and start. You grew up in a time period where social media was becoming dominant, so your interactive skills with other people is not as strong as me and Mike's.
That's true.
Definitely.
We grew up in a time where none of
There
that
wasn't
existed.
any. None.
So when you see me and Mike and Jeff go into a club or into a place, we immediately can start talking to people like younger people can't, And so the way that you circumvent that, besides stand-up, is to start going into supermarkets, places like that, and I'm just having regular joking with people, hey, how you doing? Whatever. If there's an old lady in line, turn around to her and be like,
No, not old lady. No, old ladies like him. No, let it go.
But you know what I'm saying?
Now let me ask.
You're practicing.
Ron's right. You're practicing.
Dialogue.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're not trying to get laid. It's practicing.
You're not fucking the old lady. I'll fuck the old lady, but that's a whole other.
Right.
It's a whole other show.
How often do you guys? How often do you guys? I'm sorry, Ron. How often do you guys use compliments in with people that you want to hook up with?
Only give them a compliment if it's if you really feel the compliment. Only give them the compliment if it's real, because they'll know if it's fake. They'll know if you're bullshitting them. What do you think about that, Jeff? What's your opinion?
Well, compliment, what they're wearing. They love that. Like you say, you know what? I love your shoes. Dude, you're going to get 10 minutes just on the shoes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, dude, I love your hair. You're going to get another 10 minutes on the hair.
Right.
Women love to be complimented.
Okay.
They love that. They spend 2 hours to fucking get ready and go out.
Right.
If you don't compliment them what they did, they're going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
What I would add to that is I compliment in a joking manner after a certain period of time, and the compliment is sexual in nature, but it's like a double entendre. It can be taken one of two ways, and it's a way that I know if they're down. You know what I mean? Like, if
give an example to Rob.
Just going off what Jeff was saying, we've been talking for a few minutes, I'd be like, hey, you know what? By the way, I just want to let you know your hair is banging in here. You know what I'm saying? All these girls want to sweat. All these girls want to sweat, snatch their weave out your head. Whatever that is, make it a joking thing. You know what I'm saying? But that she's going to be like Jeff said. She's going to be like, oh, no. I bet it looks good when it's messed up. Something like that. And those types of things come to me in the conversation, so these are just like filler words. But when you say that, I bet it looks good, it's messed up, she'll be like,
But you got to make sure it works for you, because you don't want it to be like creepy. It could be creepy.
Because most motherfuckers are creepy. Most motherfuckers. They creep them. They're stupid. Like most male comics are fucking losers.
And don't tell her that you're a comic, because that smells broke all over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. Don't
tell you're a comedian.
Yeah,
I know better than that.
Yeah, but that's exactly it's and Mike is 100% right. It has to be, what you're saying has to be natural to you. And I would even take time to write them down so I know what those are.
And this is another thing that I know Ron and I do this a lot. Is don't be afraid to do the let me finish. Don't be afraid to do the takeaway. Like, don't be afraid to tell a woman no, because they hate to be told fucking no.
Absolutely.
It's a very powerful thing to tell a woman, like, you know what, I'm really not interested. Even if you really are interested, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? What's he got that I want? So, don't be afraid to tell somebody no. because
Right.
most guys won't. They're so fucking desperate and pathetic. They're like praying for pussy, please, fuck me. Fucking horrible.
And what you have to remember, if I'll tell you something, if you ever watch any, and bear with me on this one, if you ever watch any sales training videos, the process of closing a deal is the same in getting pussy.
Yes, I used to sell thoroughbred horses on the phone.
Right, and
you got to know how to box them in.
You got it right, and so I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
And and what Mike just said is the reason what just reminded me that you always, sales 101, always be ready to walk away from the deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I know Ron used to do sales too. I'll do this. If I like somebody, I'll ask who, what, when, where, why, how, time. I'll ask those questions. I'll slip them in, and I'll know right away if I want to play with them or not, or if they like me by the questions that I ask and how they answer the question. I'll listen to what they're really telling me physically and emotionally, because they might say, "Oh, I really like you," but you're watching their body language and like, "You're not getting any pussy from this bitch."
Right.
And Rob, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't do no sales. All right, I did no sales training.
You just got some swagger,
but I was raised by a pimp, so I'm going to tell you, I'm playing the pimp game. If you got a fine friend, right, a girl, you got a fine friend as a girl, have her walk up at some time when you're talking to this girl.
That's good.
And have her come, hey, how come you don't call me? And you're like, hey, you know what? We had a good time that night, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I can't believe you walked up to me taking time from my friend here.
Okay, I see.
She'll love that because you just told she's taking time from her, and she's thinking, "Damn, that bitch is hot." And he goes, "Different for me? What's he swinging?"
Right. Another way to get a beautiful woman, Ron's gonna love this one. If you have a hot chick and an ugly chick together, right? You want to mind fuck the fucking good looking one. Fuck the ugly one first. And she'll tell her friend because she's gonna want to know why you didn't fuck her, and then you can fuck the hot one too. These guys don't go as devious as me. I've gotten hot.
I love the grin. I love the
girl first to get the good one.
I love the grin on your face as you said it.
I'm going to pass this one over to Jeff. I have no comment.
I got no comment on that one. There's no way that I'm going to hit the ugly friend. Because the first thing, if I go to mess with her, she's going to be like, nah, I fucked my friend. I'm like,
white girls are fucking stupid. They're jealous. They hate each other. You can fuck the hot one over because the ugly one, when the hot one says to you, well, why'd you go out with my friend? Well, I said, she's really nice and you're kind of a cunt. I just lost interest. I didn't want to play with you.
Just for anybody who's listening right now, calling all white women stupid is wrong. And because that's not true.
We got to put disclaimers for Mike, right? We got to do that.
I'm not saying all white women.
So we ain't got motherfuckers inboxing us talking about, you can't believe y'all said all white women, a gay guy, black guy, white. Y'all talking about white women are stupid. We got to be like, no, that's not what us.
I'm the white woman spirit animal. White women get me more man ass than anybody else has, and it's usually been their boyfriend. So I have nothing but respect for white women.
Come on, my mom's white. Come on, I got no but respect for white women. Come on.
You are full of shit.
Mike, did you say you used to sell Serbian horses over the phone?
No,
No, he said Serbian whores.
Oh.
I wish I sold Serbian whores. I wouldn't be in the fucking situation I'm in now. I would be on a fucking podcast if I sold Serbian whores. What the fuck? I wouldn't be talking to you three motherfuckers. I'd be on an island somewhere. Fucking mermaids and eating them and shit. I wouldn't be here. And I'm like fucking done talking to
Did you see Mike try to do that? That shit would be hilarious.
I love Serbian girls. They're so fucked up.
She's 6'4", but she likes to get strangled and whipped. You can knock the bitch out. Oh, she's beautiful. $5,000. $5,000.
I can send you 3 by Thursday.
Yes.
You can punch this bitch in the jaw. Watch it.
She can fucking roll with that shot. She'll take that shot like a champ.
Yeah.
And for an extra 2,500.
And a box of cheese, you can have her to Bob.
Now, Rob, before we close this out, I would like to bring our wonderful guests here, Jeff and Mike, in here, the co-hosts. Now, let's pretend you want to try and pick up 2 or 3 bitches at the same time.
That's
Come on now. Let's do this.
I've been before COVID.
Come on now.
Serbian girls.
Like I was saying, I almost got 2 twins. I almost got twins in the parking lot of fucking John's last night. One of them I already banged before, and I could see his brother was like, "Oh, this is that nigga you was talking about." You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Oh no, Rob. I'm gonna give you a pimp move. This is a great pimp move.
Hold on, Jeff. Let's introduce this one. So now, Rob, what you're about to hear is this is handed down from the gods of the pimps. Jeff Keller, tell him how you get 2 pieces of
Tell them how to get more than one. Jeff.
Come on now.
How to get more than one.
This from Papa Charles. This is what happened. So I'm dating this attorney. She calls me and says, pick me up. I'm over at the party house. I was like, what's the party house? Oh, me and my girlfriends have this house we bring guys to, but I don't want to be up there. I'm like, all right. So I go pick her up, and I'm like, well, we ain't going nowhere. Let's go up in the party house, see what's going on. Okay. So we go up in the party house. I peek in the bathroom, in the bedroom. This dude is just plowing. I don't know what kind of drugs this motherfucker was on, but he was killing these hoes. It was like, God damn. Even I was like, God damn. They yelling, ah. I'm like, oh, God. So I'm hearing the yelling, right? So I start getting horny. So I take my girl. We get on the couch. So she's on, and she's riding me, right? I'm killing it. All of a sudden, I feel some girl grab my hand. It's her friend. She puts it on her coochie. I'm like, oh, damn. The other girl comes out, starts making out with my girl while she's riding me. Okay. I'm like, dude, this is some pimp shit. Then the dude came out, and that's where I had my orgasm, because there's only one dick in my fucking fantasies, not 2. So I did that shit right there.
In Ron's case, it's multiple dicks.
Oh, Ron would have kept going. Oh, Ron would have been like, oh, shit, now I got to force him to find something? Oh, yeah.
So disappointed in you, Jeff. So disappointed.
I know. Ron would have been like, shit, more the merrier. But my point is this, Rob. I took advantage of the situation. I didn't say, okay, let's go home. I said, wait, it's a party house? Let's go up and look at it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes you got to take control and read the situation.
I got to find a party house. That's what I got to find.
One, you have to find a party house, and then I'm going to turn this over to Mike. 1, a party house. 2, you have to have dick. You have to have I fuck good or big dick mojo for sure. You know what I'm saying? 3, and this is a guaranteed winner, especially if you're in a nightclub. A good bag of cocaine. After that.
Oh yeah, cocaine. Cocaine and some tequila.
That's true. That's really true.
Boom,
cocaine and tequila. I ain't gonna lie. You lucky you wasn't around in the 80s and 90s, because you missed some good
weed too. Weed to chill out after.
Yes. Jeff and I have used many things. A lot of alcohol. Yes.
Yeah, alcohol, cocaine.
Yes.
You're ready to go.
Cocaine.
But I would say, Rob, I'll tell you one thing that you have that Ron brought up, which I think is interesting, which gets you girls, is you play the shy card, because they won't feel threatened by that, and they might come closer to you and open up, and then you start to like warm up to them and get them to come in and do what you want.
And you got that innocent look. You got that innocent,
you got that innocent look.
Innocent white boy look. I don't understand why you ain't getting laid right now, because you got that innocent white boy look.
You don't have mean terrorist look right now.
You got anti-game. Evidently you got anti-game.
Right.
But if I had that look, Rob, oh my God.
And Rob, another thing, but my last piece of information is just like with acting, always bring your day with you. If you're feeling a little nervous, like Jeff said, if you're feeling, at some point communicate that in the beginning so they know where you're at with that. And that's being vulnerable. And women like guys who are vulnerable, that are willing to have a conversation.
They love the chink in the armor. The chink in the armor.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Chink.
You know what I mean? Because, and just so you know, Rob, because you look so innocent, that's another reason why and don't take this wrong way, you wouldn't be my first choice to bang because you'd probably end up crying. You know what I mean? And the criers.
But on a
criers
slow night. On a
yeah,
slow night.
You might go there, Ron. I've seen
Oh,
you
Ron,
go
on a
work,
slow night.
Ron. I've seen you do your shit, man.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? As soon as I said that, Rob's asshole went. He was all
more
relaxed. He was talking about pussy.
Oh, no. Hey, Ron, that asshole kind of opened up a little bit. Hey, Ron, it opened up a little bit. He's like, well, maybe. Yeah.
No.
Like rock, paper, scissors, that kind of shit.
All right, so Rob, let's ask the question, Rob, and Jeff. I want you to lead this one out. Do you have any more questions?
No, you guys answered a lot of them.
Well, do you think that any advice that Ron and Mike and I gave you, do you think, and this seriously now, serious, do you think any of that helped you through all the comedy, but the seriousness of it, do you think any of the advice helped you?
Yeah, no, it definitely did, because definitely with like the compliment question and just being in the moment and all the questions I had, you guys answered with stuff that I didn't know, and it was very helpful, and I plan to use it the next chance I can.
Right, absolutely. Women are very career-minded. They're very independent now. Make sure that, those are the things that you compliment them on in different ways. Prepare how you talk to women the same way that you prepare your jokes, because you get a little nervous, you're a little shy, then write it out. So it's and look it over, have so this way, in the back of your mind, these things that you want to talk about. And if we're going out tonight or something like that, then look at the news then you have like these little subjects that are in your head that you're ready to talk about, and you can have a good conversation and not allow yourself to get set up for rejection. Because like Mike was saying, once you realize that this person isn't really that person, bounce. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And in defense of Ron and Jeff, you got to enjoy the rejection. You got to just have fun with it. It's like if they don't like you, they don't like you. But at least go after. At least go after what you want. So
and no, it's not you. And no, it's not you. It has nothing to do with you.
It's not you. Sometimes
everybody has their type. You might not be their type.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's 100%. And
you can't be a 6'2" black man with a beard and a bald head. You just, you can't do that.
Right. And you definitely can't be Gay Thanos. You know what I mean? So,
and you can't be Midget Demon, so you're fucked.
No. You'll have all these niggas glued to the walls and shit and on the floors and all types of shit going on.
You ain't gonna get your deposit back. You don't get your deposit back.
Boys. I know my mark.
Right, wandering around the front yard missing an eyeball. You know what I mean?
I know my mark, Ron.
A lot of crime scenes. Mike
in the fucking upstairs window. Bitch, I told you to never come back. Throws at her.
That's why you hate you white bitches. That's why I like
you gotta go. You gotta fucking go.
Well, I'm Jeff Keller. If you, my mom's white on Instagram and Twitter. If you want any advice from us three,
for some reason or another,
on anything, for some reason, because you're crazy, please DM me on my mom's white on Twitter and on Instagram.
If you want to be on our show, hit me up on Instagram, serialkillerofcomedy.com. Or my website, serialkillerofcomedy.com, Mike Muratori Facebook, @Midget Demon on Twitter. And if you want to come on the show, hit us up. Take it away, Ron.
If you are male between the ages of 21 and 35, and just hit me up, Ron @Ron Bush Comedy on Twitter. Ron.Bush and the number 1 on Instagram and Facebook. White women, if you wonder if your boyfriend's gay, guaranteed hit me up.
Matter of fact, Ron has a business for $250 in incentives He'll let you know if your boyfriend is gay.
He does. I've seen it.
For $250.
Within minutes.
$250.
And I'll bring a guy with a big dick who actually knows how to fuck you well with me.
That's the incentive.
So we can just trade off. We just trade it off like that. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Rob, tell everybody how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, Rob.
I'm at Comic Rob Banks on all the platforms, and I want to say a thank you to Jeff, Ron, and Mike for all the advice. It was really great, and I'd love to come back on the next time if you guys would have me. I can figure out another problem. We can hash out and figure something out. You know,
I think we want to have you back, and we want to hear how all of our advice worked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And once we get through all this COVID shit, or I'll try to figure something out. We'll get back on, and we'll
get you some sickly COVID pussy.
Hell yeah, brother.
We're a crotchless hazmat suit.
I ain't afraid of the COVID.
Oh, Lord.
Pussy coughing like, I want that pussy coughing like.
I ain't afraid of no COVID.
I ain't afraid of no COVID.
We got to do that too, a Ghostbusters song.
Who are you going to call?
COVID.
I thought you said you had some cocaine and malt liquor.
No, I said I had COVID. All right, guys. Thank you, Ron.
All right,
thank you, Rob.
Till next time.
All right, brother.